Hello everyone. AmyR here from Prairie Paper and Ink with another video for the Picket Fence Studios YouTube channel. Today I'm going to use some of the just released September 2024 products. I'll have a link to the new release in the description box below the video. I will also, of course, have my supply list listed and linked directly below as well, so you can check that out if you're interested. And let's get into making these cards. So the easiest thing about these cards is all these backgrounds are pre-done. Picket Fence has a ton of these. They're fabulously glossy A2 card fronts, and they've been releasing all sorts of designs for the last however long. And that's what I used last time, but they were fall themed. And in this new release, there's these holiday watercolor evergreens, which love. And you get 12, like 4 of each design. So there was 3 designs in here, so I chose all 3 because I couldn't choose just one. And I trimmed them down because they're A2 sized originally. I trimmed them down to about 3 3/4 by 5 because I want to mat this, etc. And then I'm using the new Merry Christmas word die set. I've gone about these in other videos. This is another thing that Picket Fence has done many of different words, and it's like a big bulky word, like so. This time it's Christmas, and then a like scripty font of a die cut to finish off whatever the phrase is. And like I've said in those other videos, I don't like mucking around with like individual letter wafer dies. However, these ones are larger, so they're not quite as fiddly, and they're all connected. So I'm not having to like line up all these individual letters. So I die cut them from the background designs, and you saw me like lining it up. I used my T-square ruler to make sure I got this straight because this is the main focus of the card, and I'm using this background, so it needs to be like that die cut needed to be straight. And then you don't want to lose any of the pieces, which with this one wasn't too bad because there was only those 2 like centers, one for the R and one for the A, because we're going to inlay that, so you don't want to lose those pieces. It's another reason why I like a die set like this, because you know certain words can be really annoying to line up, but it's like nope, this was simple. So after I die cut the word from it, I adhered this to a piece of black cardstock that I had cut to just slightly larger than that panel. Made sure everything was adhered really, really well. And then with cards like this, they are super simple. They're just time consuming in the sense of just the amount of die cutting. But this is one of those things where it's like I zone right out. I'm like listening to an audiobook, watching a movie, whatever, because it's just mindless. You know, I love it. Love it. You don't have to sit and really be like, oh, what's this? It's like, no, just die cut. I had stacks of, scraps of cardstock that I was using. I went a little extra and I used kind of cardstock that went with each of the backgrounds. So for this one, I'm using some soft navy cardstock that I die cut. The Christmas word I die cut 3 times from this cardstock, and I just stick it in one of my trays, and then I adhere the letters together with craft tacky glue, and each stack of letters I stack with the topper from that background. And then for the scripty word, which in this case is Mary, I die cut that twice. Just once from the navy cardstock and then the top layer from gold glitter cardstock. Having the 2 layers just gives it that little extra bit of dimension, little extra to strength, since I'm going to superimpose this over top of these individual letters. So once everything's adhered together, you just inlay them, and super simple. Like I said, there's only those 2 little centers to 2 of the letters, and when you fit them in, it creates that sort of like silhouette image, which looks always looks better in real life, but I'll tilt these at the end of the video as well so that it stands out a little bit more. So we just adhere them into place, and like I said, this is all like simple. It's just one of those things where you just do all the mindless tasks of multiple bits of die cutting and then adhering, and then you just inlay it. Like, so simple. Love it. And then this way I'm not covering up really like any of these backgrounds, because that was the biggest reason why I like a design like this, is like I was like, I like the background, I don't want to put anything on top of it. So this is kind of a way for me to utilize these backgrounds and still see everything. So I adhered all the letters, and then I adhere the die cut Mary right on top with its gold glitter fabulousness. And I did that with all 3 of these panels. And then my card bases are top folding A2 white note cards, so 5.5 by 4 1/4. And I'm using a sentiment from the Signature Quotes Christmastime set. And I line up my card bases inside my MISTI, and then I can just stamp that sentiment over and over again. So if I had done, a dozen of these cards, or however many I wanted to do, you just line up that stamp, ink it up, stamp it, and then just repeat on the insides of all the cards. And I stamped this with VersaFine Clair Nocturne ink. And that's all I did for the inside. Just the sentiment was more than enough. And then once I've got that stamped and that ink is dry, I'm adhering the card fronts to the card base with Craft Tacky glue. And I'm just using my big Glassboard Studio magnets to hold everything down. Just convenient so that I can go right on to the next one. And then once I've got the card fronts adhered, technically you could leave it here, but I'm going to add just a little bit of bling. Gotta have just that little extra bit of sparkle. The die cut glitter cardstock for the Mary definitely gives it a little extra bling, but I wanted just a little bit more. So these are the North Pole gem mixes. So laid out some of those and then just kind of sprinkled a few onto each of these cards right around the sentiment, and then just picked them up with my little embellishment wand and adhered them with little dabs of Craft Tacky glue. It's another, in a sense, kind of mindless thing because it's like, plus I just get satisfaction digging through gems. So picked out colors from it that kind of went with each of the backgrounds, because there's kind of a mix in this gem mix, because there's like reds and greens and kind of bluey sort of colors that change. I don't know, this was a really pretty one, so I just picked out a bunch that worked with each of these backgrounds, and that finished off these cards. So like I mentioned in the intro, I'll have links to all of the things in the description box below the video. And then as time goes on and I add more videos to this official Christmas 2024, holiday playlist, I will set up an official playlist and I'll start including that at the ends of the videos to keep everything all in one place. And yeah, I'll have those linked in the end screens as well, so everyone can check them out if they're interested. Thank you all so very much for hanging out with me today. Definitely check out my blog post as well. I'll have all the info in there and linked below, and I'll see you all very soon in the next video. Bye.